Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the Jaye Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Sim E, hold on, get ready to enter the Jaye Spot on IntellectualRadio-Com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have our honorary co-host on tonight,
Yes.
NIU Drumline member, CEO of Delaware Inc.,
Yes.
soon to be NIU college graduate class of
Yes.
2021. This man comes out in December. You all give it up for Amir. Hey, Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. I needed it this week because finals is next week. I just need to be here. I got some stuff to get off my chest. So I'm just glad that I'm here.
Well, I'm going to give you a moment to get things off of your chest. You all, please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And J is spelled Jayye for all three. You all, tonight's episode of the J Spot is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Tell them how they can get in contact with you, Mr. Delaware Inc.
Yes, follow me on Facebook at Delaware Inc. and follow my Instagram at Delaware Inc. Clothing. And that's all together.
And how can they follow you personally?
And you can follow me personally on Instagram as well at darkskinpoppy_312 and my Facebook page at Amir Dale.
And guys, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. So now you said, Amir, you guys, so E is out tonight. She's off tonight. So we will definitely see her next week. Thank you so much for all you do, E. Now listen, Amir, you said you had some things you wanted to get off your chest.
Yes,
tell us what's going on.
do.
How is this semester going? You are one semester away from walking across the stage. What's been going on with you?
Man, a lot. I mean, just trying to finalize everything, make sure my grades is good, stay on track with everything. But it's just one thing in particular that is just sending me over the edge, and that is this lady in my Spanish class. So y'all, please keep me in your prayer because I've been this close for going off on this lady, and I don't want to do it. But hey, sometimes things just got to be done. But
so what are some things that you are facing this semester? As again, you are one semester away. So really and truly, the pressure is on. So it's like at this point, there is no room for error. So tell us some of the things that you are facing this semester.
Right now I'm facing just trying to pass this class, make sure I pass all of my classes, and man, just get through this whole year, just because has been a very hard semester, and especially being a senior, man. I've never felt this way ever in my life, but I'm like, man, sometimes you just want to throw in the towel, but you can't because it's like you almost done, but you just got to keep on pushing, and I'm actually feeling like that right now. So shout out to those that's still pressing on their way, still giving it all they got in their senior year, because man, it's hard, but we gonna be done. We gonna walk across that stage in December. So man, don't give up. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't give up.
And you all, please, again, as he's saying, don't give up. Parents, I mean, we have to definitely make sure that we are continuing to rally behind our seniors and behind our students in all grades, because again, this has been very challenging for everyone. This remote learning, working online, a lot of these courses are hard to take online. So here's the thing, I'm a mother, so I don't care if he is in college. I need to know what's going on. So I've listened into some of the things and, some of this the situations that he's been dealing with this particular class in school. And my thing is this: how do you tell a student, well, if I understand that it's hard, because I couldn't, if I were you, I would not be able to take this class online and pass it. So doggone it. Listen here, you raggedy wench. If you now see, that's me, that's the mother and me talking. If you can't take this class and pass it, how do you expect the other students to take it? And you good and grown, and you've been out of school for a long time. So how do you expect them to take this class online and pass it? So that's what I don't understand. And that's a lot of the stuff that we've been hearing a lot of the semester. So I'm just like, listen, miss me with that bull. If you couldn't take it, then, why aren't there being some, there's some other special guidelines being put in place for some of these classes that are difficult to take online. So again, guys, definitely keep your students lifted, and make sure that you are staying in tune with everything that they have going on, because again, a lot of these classes are definitely tough, especially in the high school. You know what? I'm not even gonna say especially. A lot of this stuff is hard to learn online. And then you have the little kids. I feel so bad for them, because first of all, if your teacher is boring in person, good and doggone well them little kids cannot sit still, because they got ants in their little pants. They can't sit still in class. So good and doggone well they can't sit still 4 or 5 hours at the computer, sitting up there listening to the boring teacher on the computer. And you know what? Again, guys, another thing is, don't let that teacher be ugly. Lord, let me tell you, I have peeped in on a few of these little Zoom classes. I'm like, good Lord, that teacher, I don't know, something about the screen just magnifies the ugliness. And so now y'all getting mad at these little kids because they can't focus. Listen, you would find it hard too if you was being taught by Shrek. She's sitting up here looking like Shrek every day, and now you gotta beat your little son because he ain't paying attention. Let me ask you this: would you pay attention if Shrek was teaching you? Would you be able to sit up there and focus on Shrek every single day? Shrek just sitting up here looking, and Shrek teaching. Well, you don't go to school for the. I get all of that. I get all that, you all, but let's please be honest. You would have a hard time focusing if your teacher, again, looked like Shrek or Hatchet Face. You would have a hard time, focusing on what's going on. So you all take it kind of easy with some of these little kids. What are some of the stuff that you've encountered, being online? Because I know I would not make it online. I know I wouldn't. Man, I would totally fail everything online, because I'm more of a hands-on interactive person. So that doggone online, I'll be like, y'all got to wake me up. I'm just going to be honest. So again, especially if the teacher cannot keep my attention, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Well, my teachers, ever since last year, since we had online classes, my teachers has been, pretty cool. I've had like male and female teachers, but it's just this particular one that I got this semester is just, she just make you just want to do that. And I'm just like, and I still feel that way to this day. Good thing classes is over with this week. I ain't got to see her face no more. So I'm just glad.
Well, again, you guys definitely check in on your students. Make sure, everything is okay with them. And don't believe everything that the teachers say. You have to be involved in your children's education. And you have to, stay in tune with what's going on with them. So again, 2021, he coming out in December. So I'm definitely super proud of you. Mm-hmm. Definitely don't give up. I know that it's hard, but you have not come this far to give up. So definitely proud of you, and definitely want to tell you to keep rocking. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Now you all listen. Before we get started, I have to do a little house cleaning, because see, here's the thing. Okay, I'm here. I have to help the brothers out. Okay, I have to help the brothers out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start doing a little something where We're going to call it Jay's housekeeping tips, because we have to get it together between men and women. Grown folk to grown folk have to get it together. And here's where we're going to start. Okay. Now, first, let me just say this. She don't need you to take her to get nothing to eat. Okay. Let me say that again, because there's this thing floating out there where women are just so hard up for a meal that they're just going out on these dates with the brothers just to get something to eat. Rest assured, beloved, she's not going out with you to get something to eat. She don't need you to take her to get anything to eat. And here's why I say that. Let me tell you this. Look at how thick her thighs is. Understand this. If she thick, let me show you. If she thick in the thighs, understand this. She don't need you to take her to get nothing to eat. She's eating on her own. She ain't missed a meal. Look at how thick those thighs are. Bruh, she's not missing a meal. So understand what I'm saying. If she going out with you, she saw something in your poor raggedy behind. She saw something in you that made her want to get up, fix her hair, put on a waist trainer, put on the eyelashes, put on the makeup, put on the lace front. She saw something in you, because let's be honest now, for some of us, it's a little bit longer prep time than others. So the time that she took to get it ready for the date with you, listen, she could have stayed at home and cooked her a nice 3-course meal, but yet she took the time and the effort to get herself together so that she can go out with you. So understand what I'm saying. She ain't going out with you for no meal. I don't understand. Where are you all getting these women from that are just going out with you for a meal? Where they coming from? Like, I don't understand. Again, look at her thighs, okay? If her thighs is good and thick, trust me, bro. She gonna eat before you. She gonna eat probably with you. She gonna eat after you. She's not missing a meal. Can the church please just say amen? Again, look at them thighs. You said what?
I said I'll give it to you, amen.
Yes, look at her thighs. Again, if the thicker her thighs are, the less likely she's out with you because she waiting for you to feed her. Because trust and believe, she eating on her own. So she don't need you. So can we please stop putting this rhetoric out? Oh, she ain't doing nothing but going out for a meal. She just over here for a meal. She just over here for a meal. Listen, who are you dating? Who are you talking to? Where are you meeting these slim thighs chick that needs something to eat? Now listen, if they got little bitty thighs, then she might be with you for the meal. But if she good and grown, listen, if she got that, listen, she carrying that Bertha at the back and them thighs is good and thick and shapely, she don't need your meal. She don't need you to take her out to get nothing to eat, because she eating just fine. Some of them think, look, she show up to the table, baby, them thighs just as thick as they want to be. Them, she got them, ooh, Lord thighs. But you sitting up here, you acting like you doing her a favor because you finna pay for the meal. She's saying to herself, listen, whether fam got this or not, I'm gonna eat. Okay, so I'm not no stranger to cooking. I'm not no stranger to going out to none of the best restaurants. I'm not no stranger to eating. I'm gonna do this whether you here or not. I'm gonna eat. And guess how you know that? Her thighs tell it all. Those thick thighs tell it all. The thick thighs is letting you know, brothers, she's not there with you for the meal. She gonna eat before you. When you drop her off or when she leave from with you, she gonna grab something else to eat. So please rest assured that she does not need your meal. She does not need you to take her out. You want to add anything? Because I know I can go to the left.
I just don't understand what thighs have to do with eating. I don't understand. I don't know where you're getting all of this from, but hey.
Because the thicker her thighs thighs are, that means she ain't missed the meal.
I don't know what that has to do with absolutely anything, but I guess, I mean, if you feel that way, hey, you entitled to, hey.
Listen, if
I
she
don't pay
got them,
attention to that stuff.
you don't.
No, I
What do you
don't.
pay attention to?
I pay it. Hey, I pay attention to everything. I done been on dates before now. All right, I pay attention to what you get and how expensive you are and what type of stuff that you ordering to see. If you sitting up here ordering nachos and margaritas and stuff, now we gonna have to split this bill now because I'm like, if I got me a burger and fries and a drink, my stuff is gonna be at least like 16 or 20 some bucks. Your stuff on the other hand gonna be 35, 40 something dollars. So we gonna have to split that bill because I didn't. Hey,
You weren't prepared for that.
oh no, because I didn't ask you to get that margarita. But if that's what you want, hey, go ahead and knock yourself out. But you, on the other hand, beloved, you gonna have to pay for that because I'm not paying for that.
But you know what? Now here's the deal. Here's the deal with that. You're a college student, so that's to be expected. Like
Mhm.
you're supposed
And it's
to
fine.
look at your
Yeah.
budget and things of that nature because you are a college student. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that's what you all are supposed to do. So when you're in that age range and you're in that particular category, then that's what you do. We budget and we figure out how to make this thing work so that we can go out and we can have a good time. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to break the bank on going out on a
Mhm.
date because I
Yeah.
still got books to buy. I still got this to do for my classes. I still got a whole lot of other stuff to do. So that's fine for you all to do that because
Yeah.
that's the way you're supposed to rock
True.
in that age range. But let me turn my attention to those 30 plus, 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 and plus times two. Those the jokers that I'm talking about. She don't need your meals, okay? Again, she don't need you to take her out. And again, here's the deal. If you go out with someone and that's what her intent was, guess what? Shame on you because that means that you did not take the proper measures and you did not have the right conversations to weed out the type of woman that you were going on a date with. That you
Mhm.
didn't weed her out. You didn't figure out what her conversation was all about because guess what? You was paying attention to them thighs. You weren't paying attention to nothing else. And then you get there on a date and then you find out she tell you, she don't go home with dudes on the first night, or she don't she's celibate or she abstinent or whatever it is. Now you get mad. So well, you celibate, you abstinent. Well, I don't pay for dates. I don't pay for dates for women I ain't sleeping with. And she'll turn around because if it was me, I'll color purple you. Like I said, fine with me. I don't need you to pay for my meal. You know what I'm saying? I don't give
Here you
two
go, quote
craps.
movies again. Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what I want to do, then I'm going to eat. But I'm not gonna go through all the trouble of, getting myself made up and fixing my hair and all this other stuff just to go out on a date for a free meal. Like that's a waste. I mean, that's a waste of my time. Like I can Uber Eats or whatever it is. If I wanted to do that, I could do that on my own. So just rest assured, beloved,
Oh my
if
goodness.
she thick in the thighs, she not going out with you for your meal. Okay. She eating with or without you. So I hope that I have put some of you brothers' minds to ease. I hope that we have finally laid this to rest. Now, you all let me know, have we laid this issue to rest about women going out with you just to get something to eat? Again, look at the thighs.
I hope I don't have to have experienced that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, good. I haven't yet, but Lord, I just hope I don't have to
As the
experience
old folks
nothing
used to
like
tell us, keep living. Keep living, beloved. Keep living. But again, she don't need you. Listen, if them thighs are thick, she don't need you to take her out to get nothing to eat. She eating without you. With or without you, she's gonna eat. She's gonna continue to eat good. Trust me, trust and believe. You taking her out is not pushing her life into the next stratosphere of experiences. She's gonna eat. Trust me. If them thighs are thick, she not no stranger to eating good. I'm just saying. You all listen, we're gonna take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to get into tonight's hot topics. So you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Yes.
You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families
Families.
one conversation at a time.
Get along with, I'm a choosy lover. And no, it doesn't take a lot to please me. I like my woman loyal and stays right by my side. Oh, choosy lover. She my Bonnie, I'm a Clyde, and always down to ride. Oh yeah. Let's not get it twisted. She gotta be a freak, take a woman in the street, let her throw up in a bedroom. Ain't no limitation, when we do what grown folks do. Know how to climb on top and then she ride it like a rodeo. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, now that's my type for sure. She's saucy in bikinis, plus she bad and bougie. She gotta compliment my style, that's how I do it. I'm a choosy lover. It's gotta be something about her that I like. I'm a choosy lover. I need to feel something special when I stare in her eyes. I'm a choosy lover. I'm very picky when it comes to my life, but when I choose her, I'm a spoiler for life. Said it's love to choosing love. Now I can't stand the jealous side, cause I don't do the drama. Oh no, I'm a choosy. I'd rather make love to relieve that energy. Oh yeah, she gotta know exactly what love means, and when I show affection, she receives. I'm a choosy lover, cause yeah, I got a lot to give, but I'm too grown to play the game. I don't even entertain, but please don't get it twisted. Take it to the bone, when she move her body, it just gotta turn me on. She just like a coke bottle, like an hourglass, thicker than a Snicker. Gotta watch her when she has. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, now that's my type for sure. She's saucy in bikinis, plus she bad and bougie. She gotta compliment my style, that's how I do it. I'm a choosy lover. It's gotta be something about her that I like. I'm a choosy lover. I need to feel something special when I stare in her eyes. I'm a choosy lover. I'm very picky when it comes to my life, but when I choose her, I'm a spoiler for life. Said it's love to choosing love. Are you the one that I've been searching for? The type of girl I visioned in my dreams, babe. Are you the one that makes me happy, so happy? Yeah. The one that makes my life feel so complete. Can you satisfy my sexual desires, baby? Yeah. Baby, can you? And can you be the one that's always in my fantasy? Baby, can you? Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, now that's my type for sure. She's saucy in bikinis, plus she bad and bougie. Gotta compliment my style, that's how I do it. I'm a choosy lover. It's gotta be something about her that I like. I'm a choosy lover. I need to feel something special when I stare in her eyes. I'm a choosy lover. I'm very picky when it comes to my life, but when I choose her, I'm a spoiler for life. Said it's love to choosing love.
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my honorary co-host on tonight, NIU Drumline member, CEO of Delaware Inc., class of 2021, Amir. Hey, Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You looking at me like you already just been talking a whole bunch of stuff, and we ain't even an hour into the show. Is that how you feel? Okay, I just, I feel the vibes in the studio. Like, I feel his vibes. So I'll just, I'll go ahead and readily acknowledge how you're feeling. But do me a favor, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, and tell them how they can place an order for Delaware t-shirts with the spring colors now available.
Yes, follow me on Instagram at Delaware Inc. Clothing, And then follow my other my real page, darkskin poppy underscore 312. Follow me on Facebook at Amir Dale, and then follow my Facebook for Delaware Inc. at Delaware underscore Inc.
Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this episode is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Again, the link is in the
Posted
feed.
in the
So
description, yes.
please go ahead and go to this page and place your order today. Use reference code J, and that's JAYE. Want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled JAYE for all three. So, guys, listen, if you're now just tuning in, we did a little housekeeping on just trying to help the brothers out to let them know, listen, women are not going out with you just to get a free meal. And I said to gauge that, just look at how thick the thighs are. If she got thick thighs, she not going out with you just for a meal because she already done ate. She gonna eat before you eat, after you eat, during you. It don't matter. She not there for the meal. She there for the company. And if you're that, to me, sometimes that can say you're insecure. Like you feel like that's all you have to offer her is something to eat. So maybe it's you that are focusing solely on somebody, what they have, what they're trying to get from you. So you got to kind of gauge that, because a lot of times, we'll be quick to throw our shortcomings off on other people, and it's just like, okay, well, she was just there to go out with you. But that kind of helps us to maneuver right into our next hot topic. Now, what do you all think? Is $50, a total of $50, what type of date is that? Would you consider that a cheap date, an expensive date, or an average date? So for a college student, $50 for a date, what do you consider that as?
I mean, $50. I mean, that's nothing to me. I mean, it depends on like where you're going. Like if you're going out to eat or like somewhere else, like the movies or something like that, or just doing like a normal activity or something like that. $50 is like it seems reasonable. That don't seem too bad for me. And like the total amount for like a order, I guess like $50 doesn't seem too bad.
Okay. And see, now to me, I would say that $50 for a date is, I gotta say it's kind of on the cheap side. And here's why I say that. Because just for breakfast alone, I mean, like, man, you could pay $7 or $8 just for one cup of coffee, depending on, if I'm going to my favorite chain. So if you're buying breakfast for two at a certain chain, and this is not even a regular sit down restaurant, this is just a regular fast food joint, you can be $50 just for breakfast. Just for two people, you can easily do $50 at a fast food restaurant just for breakfast. So I would say that $50 is kind of, borderline on the cheap side. That's for me. But again, if you're not willing, like, let's stop going out. If we don't want to spend money, don't go out. Like, don't go out. If you're going to penny pinch, then don't go out. If you feel like she's not worth you spending your money on, then don't take her out. Do not take her out. What are they saying on Instagram? I see the feed coming up, guys. I'm trying to keep up with it.
Too much for a day. She better eat at home if she's not that hungry.
Who said that?
Minus more or something like that.
Wait a minute. No, don't take her out if you feel like that's too much, or if that is too much, then again, take them to somewhere where you know that the date is not going to get that expensive. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I'm like, okay, the flip, I can see both sides of it. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm not going to go on a date with someone and order something off the menu that I would not ordinarily order for myself. That's just me. So if I'm not getting the extra large coffee with all the trimmings and the works and all of this other stuff, then I'm not going to do that. I know I'm going to order because that's how I do. I'm going to order because that's what I do. But I'm saying if I was the small cup kind of girl for coffee, then I'm going to order a small cup when I'm with you. But if I get the extra large and I do all the bells and whistles, I'm gonna do the same thing for you. I'm not gonna order any more than what I would typically order for myself if I was paying for myself. Because again, I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna drink whether you rocking or rolling, whether you do it or not. It doesn't matter. I'm more than prepared to pay my way. So it's just like when you start talking about people going out and women, especially, I mean, this is circulating a lot. And I feel like it's causing a disconnect between us because men don't want to do chivalrous things anymore, such as take a woman out for a date. Oh, the only people I'm feeding or the only people that eat with me for free are my kids. Okay, well then take your kids out. I mean, nobody's arguing with you.
I would say this. I mean, if you're taking somebody out, you have to pay, and that's just straight up right there. If the woman is taking you out, she has to pay. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. I mean, if you volunteering to take me out, then hey, you taking me out, then I guess everything is on you. Then it's on you. Something like that. If I'm taking you out, then it's on me. I'm paying. That means you shouldn't have to come out of your pocket for nothing. I mean, unless it's for like a tip or something like that we leave for the waitress. But I got it. You ain't got to pay for nothing. I'm taking you out. If you taking me out, then I guess you got it. But I'm like, if you need some help now, if you was very special, then I might just slide on in and pay for it. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Just leave a nice little tip for the waitress.
Oh, that his people raised him right. I ain't doing it though.
Stop.
But
yeah, I'm sure you not. Now, see, that wasn't called for. You didn't have to say that right there. See, now that's stuff. Now that right there, that's what's gonna lead you to be at home right there, fixing the TV down, and yeah, that's what that's gonna lead you to right there. That kind of thinking right there. You didn't have to say that. See. Yeah.
So that's gonna leave me at home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With frozen broccoli in the refrigerator, TV down, whatever else. Encore, yeah.
So this brother just done ship me. He just done kicked me home and done gave me the TV dinner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what kind of thing you
just like what they used to say? Oh, I want McDonald's. Oh, you got McDonald's money? No. Well, we got food at the house. That's you. That's gonna be you right there.
Well, I'm not going because I'll buy my own stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's a lot of effort to get out and go on a date with somebody just to, to get a free meal. So again, if you don't want to pay for a date, I mean, my thing is this: you're totally entitled to not want to pay for a date, but don't date. Stop dating. If you're not prepared to do the things that a lot of women are accustomed to being taken out on dates. And again, if you feel as though she's not worth it, why are you talking to her? Why are you talking to her if you feel like she's not worth you investing a couple of dollars in a date? Be creative. A date does not have to be expensive, but it's like, be creative.
Hey, I'm glad you said be creative. You can make dinner at your house. That's what you can do. That can be a first date, right?
The devil is a liar.
You can make some sushi or something like that. You can make some sushi or whatever. Invite her over for like sushi or something like that. Whatever. You can make a homemade good meal over. And hey, that's what you call have some nice wine or something like that. But that's after once you get to know and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I mean,
he thinks that's a good idea. I ain't going for it.
A lot of people don't do that, to be honest with you.
I'm not going for it.
I mean, I feel like that's a real creative idea, but it's like, yeah, a lot of people don't really do that.
Yeah, no, that's too much. I'm not doing a first date dinner. When we're in a relationship,
about that.
Then
yeah, I'm talking about that's for like if you're in a relationship and stuff like that. Now, if you're not in a relationship and you darn well you don't want to spend no money like this on no girl, you just shouldn't go out at all. I mean, if I'm in a relationship and I feel like that you deserve, to like go somewhere real nice or something like that, then of course you can get something that you will like, and I'll,
so let me ask this. Be. So does a woman have to deserve respect? Do she have to deserve, like when you're going out, when men go out with women, do you all think like I'm gonna take her here because she deserved this, or I'm gonna take her here because she don't deserve that. Do you all think like that when you're planning dates or when you're talking to women? Do you all think like that? Do you put women in categories where, oh well, no, she for the streets or she don't deserve it, so I'm gonna take her here. I'm not gonna wine and dine her and make her feel special, or do you vice versa? Do you guys say, you know what? She could be a keeper. I want to wine and dine her. I want to show her a good time. Let me take her here. Do you guys think like that?
Hmm. No, it
I can't
depends.
stand you.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, if y'all been talking for quite some time, and y'all on the same edge with everything, and you want to take her to this real nice spot, then I'll say, hey, go for it. Now, if you just got a regular Laquita from
You
off the
know
corner,
what?
then now you gonna have to take her to like a one of them little regular basic joints, like a finger licking or something. Like you gonna have to take her to one of those. You know, she don't deserve to go to no Olive Garden or nothing like. You got to play your cards right, my man, because you know she might not know the real deal when it comes to going on them real nice classic dates and stuff. You know, them little wineries she might not know. So it's like you gotta separate. You know, yeah, she look like she'll be a good fit for her, and she look like I can just take her to like Taco Bell, get her like the little basic 12
Not
taco Dorito
Taco Bell.
value meal for like 12
Taco
15
Bell.
bucks or something like that. You got
Do
to
people
know how
still
to
even
do it.
eat there?
I don't do taco. I hate it. I mean, if that's the only thing that's open late at night, then I would have to go with that. But I don't like taco.
What are
I
they
really
saying on
can't.
Instagram? 'Cause I see-
Yeah, I'm so I can't do it. I was able to do it down at school, but no, these food chains is price gagging. I could cook her a more intimate breakfast much better than the fast food joint. Oh yeah, and I agree with my man. Yes, sir. And then he said, a first date is to get to know each other. The the advance of the environment is not too impressed by paying a lot of money for food. How you going to talk to each other if you're eating the whole day?
You know what? And so that's why the dates should be planned accordingly. Like
Yeah,
make them interesting, make the dates interesting, and
yeah,
therefore,
true.
you know,
Like going out to eat shouldn't be the only thing that y'all
exactly,
doing. Like
exactly,
there's a
exactly.
lot to do. Dinner can be the last thing that y'all do to end the night. You
Or it don't even have to be a dinner. Like, why does all dates have to be a dinner?
It
Like,
really
why can't
don't.
we do
I really don't. You can
something
go to like a
else?
painting thing. You can go to like a
So many things. Absolutely,
you can
absolutely.
it's so much
It's
stuff you
so
can
much
do.
stuff
They
to do.
got
So that's
Groupon
why,
things and stuff y'all can do. You can go you can whatever those things archery,
yeah,
you can do that type of
absolutely.
stuff.
So
That's
much
the stuff
stuff.
that I'd be thinking about. Now if we
Absolutely.
just so called and we just so happen to like just click like that automatically, then you can kind of throw in a little
Then we
dinner
can
after
go and
that.
get something to
Or
eat
some lunch or
afterward.
something like that.
Absolutely.
That's how
Take
you
it.
got to
I
do it.
like that. See,
Now
that
see
is so
y'all
good.
need to get y'all advice from me. I done been on some dates and yeah, they were pretty good. Some wasn't that good, but it was good. You know, I can help y'all out. You know, just
You have definitely said something for the people tonight. I will definitely tell you that because, again, so for the brothers that are complaining or the men that are complaining about taking women out for dinner for the dates and stuff, why are you planning? If you feel that way, why are you planning dinner dates? Why don't you plan a different type of date?
Mhm.
So why don't you put a little bit more effort into
up
something
up
else? So
up your
therefore, you
game
don't
up.
have to sit up here and complain and think that she's going out with you for a meal. Why does the food have to be the only thing that's on the table? Why don't you be
Y'all
creative,
expecting this
think
too much
outside of the
sauce.
box, and plan a different type of date? Dinner is not the only type of
Yeah,
date
it's
to go
not.
on.
It's
Dinner
really
is not
not.
the only first date to go on. You know, you
Hmm.
can go. It's so many things. The museum. It's
True.
so
I
much
remember my first day.
stuff.
I had went to this. This was last year. I had went to this pumpkin patch out in South Barrington. Man, it was so nice. I've never been to a pumpkin patch before. I had went like a long time ago when I was when I was a little kid. But now I was like, man, I miss all of these years going to a pumpkin patch. I'm like, this is real fun. I'm like,
Exactly.
everybody just out, carving the little pumpkins and just walking around the pumpkin patch, doing all this other stuff. I'm like, this is what you call a date right here. This is fun, right?
And that
I
sounds like
that.
that was
It
fun.
really was, even though it's kind of far, but it was real fun. And then we had did lunch first, and then we had went to whatchamacallit, to Gober's Font. That was so fun. I'll
See,
definitely
so
do that
that
again.
right
It
there.
was
So
real
there are
fun.
different activities that you can do. So if you feel as though she's just going out with you for a free meal, listen, change the dynamics of the relationship. And why don't you plan something else that has nothing to do with dinner and or food? And if you guys are vibing after that point, then put dinner on the table. But dinner does not have to necessarily be the first point of contact, because there's so much other stuff that you can do before that. Cole, hey, E. Cole saying too many things to do for a first date, especially since the world has opened back up. That's not expensive. Absolutely. So it's just like, let's get creative. Let's think outside of the box, and let's just have fun. And it's just like
something like that. Well, things are not fully in effect right
but
now.
it's so much
you can
other
go to a
fun
basketball
stuff.
game or something like that. If she likes sports and she like music and stuff, hey, take her to a nice concert. Take her to a nice, basketball, football game. Because some women are sports fans and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Do stuff like that. That's another thing you can do.
So let's just have fun with it, but please stop putting
and
yourself
make it
in
interesting.
position where you're thinking that that all women want to do is go out to get something free to eat. Because again, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if that's your primary focus and that's all you're thinking that they want you for. Then of course that's all, because that's the vibe you putting out there. So you're gonna attract those type of women. So you're going to attract the type of vibe that you are putting out there. So guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break.
Said that's a great day.
And when we return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. So please stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Felt like we were on the same page. Led me to believe we'd be together someday. From FaceTime calling the dates, you playing Prince Charming. Yeah, I'm in too deep, my feelings keep getting stronger. Is it all in my head? Your actions showing me different. Don't expect me to be faithful without commitment. You talk to who you want while my heart's involved. I'm sick of not your one and only. It's really killing me that with you I gotta share. I don't like what you do to me, baby. Why can't you be fair? Me only, we've discussed this. Let's just stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time. You know and I know this don't even feel right. Do you even love me? Your actions not showing me. I don't like what you do to me, baby. Why can't you be fair? Me only, we've discussed this. Let's just stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time.
Stop. Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. On IntellectualRadio.com, we are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my honorary co-host on tonight, NIU Drumline member, class of 2021.
Yes.
Yes, CEO of Delaware Inc. Amir. Hey, Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You know, you guys, listen, please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. This portion of the Jaye Spot is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Tell them how they can get in contact with you and place an order for your spring line, guys.
Yes, follow me on Instagram at darkskin_312. Wait, darkskin pop underscore 312. That's my original page. My clothing page is Delaware Inc. Clothing. Follow me on Facebook at Delaware Inc. and follow my regular page, Amir Dale.
And you guys, again,
and place your order as well. It's in the description. So, www.bigcartel /DelawareInc.com.
And we'll Instagram, we'll add the link after the show is over, so that you guys can place an order too. And you can use reference code J. And that's JAYE for all three. So I want, again, Amir, thank you for joining me tonight, you guys. He is a hard-working young man. He is about to graduate from NIU December class of 2021. So, you know, and guys, for those that don't know, you know, this is my son. You know, he's the reason that, you know, I have to talk to the psych doctors and I be talking to myself and all this other stuff. He's the reason why my blood pressure is, you know, kind of high and things of that nature. This is the reason why. But you know what? I'm thankful. You know, I wouldn't change my, you know, my stretch marks or my high blood pressure, any of that. I wouldn't change it for nothing. Well, he made, you know what? I think he say I give him high blood pressure, you know.
You do that and then some. You just run me up the wall with everything that you do, you know.
And you know what, you guys, he's so judgmental because I choose to talk to myself.
I'm really not.
You know, like I don't need you helping me out. Like I can talk to myself and have all the conversations that I want.
Yep.
Without you looking down on me.
You're gonna be that crazy lady that's rocking in the rocking chair, petting the cat named Lucy. And you just talking to yourself, yeah, we gonna be all right, Lucy. You know, yeah, my son don't love me no more. You're gonna be that type of one.
First of all, why my cat gotta be named Lucy?
Matter of fact, no, the cat is gonna be named Jay.
Yeah, I
just
like
because
that.
your name is Jay. Yes, beloved 1 and beloved 2. So both of y'all just gonna be sitting up there just crazy. The cat gonna be like,
I don't like cats. First of all,
sitting up there just rubbing his head. Yeah,
I don't like cats, so I will not have a cat. But that's what he's
that's what I'm describing.
That's what he's predicting.
That's what I can picture. So
that's what he's predicting. But guys, do me a favor, read what are they saying on Instagram? Thank you guys for everything, for supporting us. Again, please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled JAYE for all three.
Many was more said that's a great day in exchange of different cultural or ideas. Talk about what the both of you are experiencing, and then you said a lot of women are out here food hustling. I hope y'all not.
Well, then, but again, if you plan a different type of date, then you don't have to worry about getting food hustled.
Tasha Jordan said,
"Hey Tasha,
Jay, happy Thursday evening."
Hey, happy Thursday evening to you guys as well. Now, listen, guys, here's our next hot topic. Now, you know, I'll tell you guys this. Let you in on a little secret. I am a court show fanatic. Okay, since working from home, you know, and getting off earlier, you know, I like to watch court shows. So let me ask you all this.
Oh my goodness.
Our next hot topic. How do you all feel about the child support system deeming men to be the father by default? So how that happens is if you are summoned to court for a child support order, a child support case, and you don't show up, you fail to show up to court, a lot of times the court would automatically deem you as the legal father, and they will issue a child support order against you. So that means that, listen, if they summons you to go to court and you get mad and you like, This ain't my baby. I don't know why old girl calling me to go to court. Man, bump that. I ain't going. I ain't finna go about. Please go and defend yourself, because if you don't go, the court can, and a lot of times they do deem you as the father anyway. There are a lot of men out here paying child support for children that are not biologically theirs, but legally they are their children because they did not follow up and they did not show up to court. So you don't want to play when it comes to this type of thing. Is it fair? Absolutely not. It is not fair, but you have to go to court to prove your case. You have to go and stand before the judge or the magistrate and plead your case, because again, it's unfair. You're like, man, this ain't even my blood. This ain't even my kid. Oh, and don't find out from a paternity test that, man, for real, this ain't even my kid. So y'all not gonna take me out child support, even though this is not my kid? You don't want to put yourself in position to be at the mercy of these people to remove you from off of this child's birth certificate or out, as being the legal parent. You don't want to put yourself in that position, because a lot of times the court is going to do what they deem in the best interest for the child. So if the child's mother is of a lower income and you have decent income, then a lot of times the court is not going to remove you from being financially responsible for that child because the mother can't take care of the kids. So you're like, well, that ain't fair, Jay. That ain't fair. How they gonna have me paying for a kid that's not biologically mine? You got to show up. You got to show up and defend yourself. Again, I'm not saying that it's right. Do I believe in that type of system? Absolutely not. But that's the way that the system is. So it's like, in order to avoid that, you gotta show up. A lot of guys are saying, man, I never got the order, so I could not, I didn't know that I was supposed to go to child support and this and that. I don't even know what to tell you in those type of cases, because a lot of brothers, a lot of people, a lot of men are getting caught up in that situation. So again, it's not fair that the court system is doing this, but behind their supposed thinking is, you know what? We're doing what's in the best interest for the kid. So the best interest of the kid is to have a parent that is able to support them, even if they are not biologically their children. So you got to be very mindful of that, because again, the system ain't set up. This system ain't right. It's not right. It's not right whatsoever. So you have to definitely do what you have to do to protect yourself. What do you think about that? The system saying that, you know what, I'm gonna have you take care of this kid, even though and the court have proved you not the father. But since you didn't show up to the court for the court date, the court is saying, you know what? Yeah, biologically this ain't your child, but you know what? Legally, we're giving this child to you. They just passing out kids. Like, here you go. You take one, you take one, you take two, you take two. Now they done gave you a kid that's not yours, and you are legally responsible for taking care of that kid for 18 years as though it's yours financially.
That's no. I'm not gonna be too happy about that. One or two things is gonna happen. One, I'm gonna have to hang myself somewhere in the bathroom with a hanger. Or two, you know what? Just end it all. Just jump off a cliff.
Well. Don't.
Hey,
I mean,
well,
listen.
that
You gonna have a
settles
whole
everything.
whole lot of men jumping off the cliff.
I don't think like that though. But that's just the sarcastic in me. Just end it all. That'll make everything easy for me and things easier for y'all. So therefore we won't have to revisit this situation.
But they'll still be getting child support from your Social Security benefits. So even if you dead and gone, they still gonna collect child support because
it ain't gonna do them no good. I mean, I ain't gonna be in no.
You ain't gonna feel it, but you're not gonna feel a sting coming out your check. But they'll still reap the benefits of that child support.
You can dig me up and be like, man, we really need that money for it. But
they gonna get it. They dead or alive.
They're taking it from you.
They're gonna get it.
Oh well.
And it's so unfortunate. So I say that to say this. So please if you are in a legal situation when it is concerning and regarding child support, you have to do your due diligence and handle your business. Again, even if you know 1,000% that that's not biologically your child, go to court, defend yourself so that it can be put on record that you are not the kid. Because again, a lot of times, if you don't show up, then the court is going to automatically deem that you are the father in a lot of cases. And so that's how you have men out here that are saying, man, I paid child support for 18 years for some kids that wasn't even mine. I knew they weren't mine. She knew they weren't mine, but they still made me pay child support. Because a lot of times, again, and I cannot say this enough, a lot of times when the court issues that child support, they don't reverse it. A lot of times they don't reverse it. And if they do, it takes a long time. Anybody that's ever dealt with the child support system, you know how long it takes to fight in court for child support. It's a long, lengthy process. I mean, in Illinois, it was taking them 3 to 6 months just to update and send a letter out. So just imagine how long you have to fight to get before, especially now with COVID and everything that's going on. Imagine how long you have to fight to prove this. So you definitely have to do your due diligence, because again, once they enter those judgments, man, this stuff can mess you up. And a lot of brothers have been messed up because of this. So again, I am not a fan of this type of child support system because I don't think that it's fair. However, I do understand what the law is supposedly trying to do, which is look out for the best interest of the kid. But at the same time, you have to look out and listen to what this man is saying, because if he's telling you this is not, you shouldn't automatically just one strike up, he ain't show up, boom, this your kid. That shouldn't be the case. I mean, it should be, a couple of attempts to get it right, because people move, people don't get the mail, all kinds of things can happen. And it's unfortunate that one slip up could cost you. So, and it's not guaranteed that they would definitely take you off this child support. Oh, you going out? Oh, I got my DNA test and they show I ain't the father. Well, the judge look at it, they like, all right, well, now, okay, it's good to know. We'll go on record that this is biologically not your child. But as it stands, it's still legally your child. So kick rocks, get out of here. Good day. You got child support for the next 18 years. A lot of times that's what's happening. So you definitely want to be mindful of getting caught up in the child support system. And speaking of kids, we're going to lead right into our next hot topic. Now, I never had to do this, but for parents that have more than one kid, have you been guilty of making your oldest child responsible for the rest of your kids? So, like, if you have multiple children, have you made the oldest kid stay home and watch your kids because you either had to work or you didn't have anybody else to watch them? Have you been guilty, or have you, had to put that type of pressure on your oldest kid as far as watching their younger siblings while you went out and did whatever you had to do? Like, I mean, it's rough, because coming from a big family, a lot of times that's what was done. I'm thankful that my mom didn't really do that to me, because I'm the oldest. So my mom really never did that. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. So I didn't have to feel like, oh, I'm left to raise my brothers and sisters. So I never personally had to experience that. And you've never had to experience.
Nope. No, none whatsoever. And I'm glad.
He's an only child, so he's never had to experience that. But, I know a lot of parents that put that type of responsibility on the oldest kids. And what I've seen a lot of times, that a lot of kids, the older kids, they're resentful. They're resentful of the younger siblings, because it's not fair that, they can't do something for the summer. They can't participate in the summer sports program because they got to watch kids that you laid down and made. That's where it's too far. We've gone too far with that. Like, okay, why do I have to? Because that's what I would have been thinking. I'm like, okay, I know these are my brothers and sisters, but I didn't make them. So why do I have to, watch my brothers and sisters, which are your kids? Why do I have to sacrifice for what you done? You can read what they're saying on Instagram.
Latasha is saying, sis, what's the young lady's name that be on here with these
She's
speaking
out for
relationships?
tonight.
I can't remember her name.
She's out for tonight. But she'll be back next week. But guys, so what do you think about that? Like, is that fair? Is that fair to put that type of responsibility on your child? Like, again, in their defense, those are your kids. So just because they're the oldest and you need help and they're of age, like, why are they the next go-to? Those are not their kids. Those are not their responsibility. You got to find another way because you're robbing them of their childhood because you chose to cock your thighs and have, more kids than you can take care of. And I'm not saying that that's an easy thing. And I know it's easy for me to say that because I have one kid. It's very easy for me to say that. But then again, it's really not easy for me to say that because I had nobody to put my kid off on. So I had to take care of my own responsibility. I didn't have another kid to fill in the gap for me. So I know how it truly feels to, have to make all these arrangements without depending on another child. So, we got to be mindful for that. We got to, take into consideration, again, that's not their responsibility. That's not their burden to bear. Like, you got to watch all the kids and wait a minute. You got to come home from school. You can't do nothing extra. You can't hang out with your little friends a little bit extra because your mama work in the evening and you got to be home to cook dinner for your brothers and sisters. That's not your job. That's not your job. So we robbed them of their childhoods because we was hanging from the chandeliers and stuff doing horizontal mambo. And now you got a couple of oops. And now, now your oldest kid, now they lose out on their childhood.
Yeah, no, that ain't fair right there. Some need to be fixed right there. That's a whole error right there.
It is, again, it's not fair because again, the child is left to, take the role of a parent. And then you got to be careful because some of these jokers, they don't want to be watching. Listen, some of your little kids, they bad and they talking back and you ain't my daddy, you ain't my mama, you ain't. But first of all, let me push you and make you scrape your knee and then tell me again that I ain't your mama, your daddy, and see how well that work out for you. So if you got kids, and I know it's hard, and sometimes we need a little extra help. I'm not saying not to lean on, your kids from time to time, but to make them the primary source of being your help, you can't do that. That's just not fair, especially when it's a lot of kids. Now I can see maybe if it's one, you got your little brother got to tag along with you. That's one. But if you got two extra, now that's raising kids. Now you got your kid raising your other kids, and that's not fair. Oh, Jay, you don't know you doggone right. You doggone right. I saw how this one cried, and I already knew that I would be in jail because I'm not going to be dealing with all you just crying for nothing. What the cuss word are you crying for? You're not hungry. You're not wet. You're just crying because you're crazy. I knew I wasn't going to be dealing with all that. So I dealt with it one time, and then I was just like,
yeah, but that made you who you are today.
Yeah, and I said, I'm not about this life. I'm not about this baby and all that. Oh, she want to have. I'm having his baby. That's my baby daddy. The devil has lied. Look, no. Now Jay love the kids. Okay, she'll love your kids. She'll buy them all kinds of sweet stuff and junk and just gifts and send them right back to the rightful owners. I will spoil them and love them. Just, oh, I love the way they smell, but I'm gonna send them right back to you because I'm not staying up all night with all this crying and I'm not. Because listen, I've been up pushed it on the floor. But like what you okay, so you crying, I changed you. What more do you want? Because that's the kind of conversations I'll be having. Like, okay, so now what's wrong with you? What is you crying for? What's wrong with you? Because you're crazy. You look what? You mad because you're ugly like you did? See, and you don't. So that's not right, you all. That's not the right way to handle
don't
things.
Have her to babysit y'all kids, please. Don't.
That's not the right thing to do. But who for to be sitting up? I know you not talking how you act about around little kids.
I'm fine with little kids. I mean, I want them my own, but I'm just like, yeah, y'all just saying
when they
like
get to running around. So you worse than you worse. He's worse than I am when it comes to these little kids running around and all this.
If it's 9 o'clock at night, you should not be. I should not hear the floor shaking, especially on Thursday night. That means you got e-learning in the morning. You should be washed on up in the bed and ready to get on up at 8 o'clock in the morning for your e-learning.
You all, let me tell you, this one right here, I call him a young old man. He's so doggone funny because I swear, when he see kids running around in the store, baby, you would think that he done raised like 12,000 kids because his patience is just not even there. So if anybody is worse than I am with dealing with these little kids, it's him. Now, like I said, I will hug them and love them and feed them and just do all kinds of good stuff. But they got to go home. They got to go. They got to go back home. So you should not be making your older child take care of their younger siblings because, again, that's not their responsibility. That's your responsibility. So we definitely have to do better with controlling our fertility if we don't have the help. Like, we just got to do better. Again, a lot of times it's easier said than done, but that's just some food for thought that I want to leave with you all. Guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics that you don't want to miss. So please stay tuned. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Hello, my name is MCB. Brainstorming. Won't you get your feelings? See you are the love by me. Hello, my name is MCB. Brainstorming, hoping that you would come back home.
From line member, class of 2021. CEO of Delaware Inc., Amir. Hey, Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You all right?
Good.
All right. You good tonight?
I'm good.
All right. Well, tell everybody how they can place an order for Delaware for your spring line for your t-shirts.
Yes. Place the order. You can place your order today at www.bigcartel/DelawareInc.com, and the link is also in the description as well.
And guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this session of the Jaye Spot is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Again, the link is in the feed. Instagram will get you the link in there for you all. When you're placing an order, use reference code J, and that's JAYE for all three. Again, he is graduating December class of 2021. It has been rough. So salute to all of the class of 2021, to all of the students that have been forced to, adapt to a different way of learning. I salute you all. I salute
the ones that's
those teachers that have gone above and beyond to ensure that their students are engaged and are learning and have made the most of this situation. I salute you all. For those that have not went above and beyond, kick rocks, find another profession, because this is obviously you're in the wrong profession and you are not in this for the right reasons. If you have sat on your fanny and have not made your class interesting, considering the situations, kick rocks. This ain't even, this compliment and this thank you and this hurrah was not for you. This was just for the ones that have made the most out of this situation, understanding and realizing how difficult this situation has been for everyone. So
Mm-hmm.
again, guys, thank you so much. Please do me a favor, go to our page at the Jaye Spot, like our page. Also follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye
Jaye.
for all three. Guys, listen, our next hot topic, since we were talking about kids, why don't we just continue on talking about kids? Now, here's the thing. What is the best way for a stepfather to deal with disrespectful children and a woman that does not want to be told anything about how to raise her children? What should a stepfather do? These kids don't listen to him. They cussing at him. He telling them to do things and they ain't doing it. You can't tell me what to do. Then he going to the wife and trying to talk to the wife and trying to tell her how to handle the situation with the kids. She don't want to listen. She taking the side of the kids. What is this man to do? He working hard. He paying all the bills. He taking care of all them disrespectful jokers. And this man can't get a little respect in his household. What should this man do? What do you think?
Now I would say, if you got a real nice house, and you got some corners and stuff in there, hey, just spread them on out. One go right there, another one go right there, one go right. Just spread them on out. Hopefully that'll work out. But if it just don't work out, please, I will advise you to do this too. And I don't care if you do it, but you gotta, I'm gonna need something in return for this. Man, you just don't be afraid to use the plug slap. Just don't be afraid to use it. It will change their life. I'm telling you.
Now, what if they're older kids? You can't really plug slap.
Now, if they older kids, then you got to switch to something else. Now this is for the tiny mites and mighty. This is for those type of kids that need the plug slap. For those that just can't sit down nowhere. That's always running in and outside the house and stuff, running up the stairs, jumping down the stairs with the little shirt tied around them like they captain. Those are the ones that need the plug slap. If you know what I'm saying. You used to be a little kid jumping off the stairs and stuff like you Superman or you Spider-Man or something like that. Yeah, you might not have experienced the plug slap when you was growing up, but you know what? It's never too late for them to experience it. Because they gonna need it. Yeah,
So
they suck up all the brain cells in their head and stuff, and now they can't learn the next day. But if you just give them a little pop, pop, just like that, they'll be all right the next day for class.
I'm not with you. I am not going to go there with you. The plug slap, do it again.
Bop, bop, just like that. Yeah.
Listen, you plug slap your kids at your own discretion. But my thing is this: it's really difficult, and I can understand the question because growing up, I was not always the angel that you see sitting before you. And I'm not really proud. I'm not really proud of that. Had a couple of little challenges, growing up. So the question was, if you're just tuning in, how does a stepfather deal with disrespectful children, especially when he goes to the mother and she doesn't do anything to correct the situation? What does he do? How does he handle that situation? I mean, because here's the deal. There are a lot of blended families. So there are a lot of people out here with stepkids. These people are out here working hard. Listen, you bringing home your whole check to cover all of the bills. And then these little jokers won't listen to you. When your check hit that account, she at the store buying all these kids all this fancy stuff, buying the newest game systems and all this, buying cell phones, this and that. But these jokers don't listen to you. So is that fair? Should this stepfather continue to financially take care of kids that are being disrespectful. And then with the wife, she's not even doing anything to rectify the situation. She's not talking to the kids on his behalf. So, a few things. You have to have a united front between the parents. So it's just like before, you could tell they did not have this conversation prior to getting married. They just got married and said, we'll deal with it, as the situation arises. Because 9 times out of 10, if they're disrespectful, they've already been disrespectful prior to you all getting married. So that was something that should have been discussed and should have been rectified, because here's the deal. Kids, if you let them, they will, and they can, and they will ruin a good thing. They will tear your marriages up. They will tear your relationships up if you allow it. If you don't rectify these situations in the beginning, they will. Now, I'll speak for myself. I was always leery of getting in a committed relationship or getting married when my son was growing up, because not because he was disrespectful, but because I didn't know, which is going to lead into our next hot topic. So I'll kind of like bridge them both together. I didn't know how I would feel about someone else disciplining my child. And because it's so much stuff going on. So my thought was always this. Here's the deal. As a step parent, if they are taking care of my child financially and we're married, then that means I trust you to be able to discipline my child, because we're married, we're a family, we're living in the same household. So yes, in my opinion, he would have had the right to discipline my child, because how do you separate that? How are you good enough to take care of him financially? You're good enough to put food on the table. You're good enough to put clothes on his back, shoes on his feet, buy all these different things. You're good enough to do all of that. But you can't tell me how to raise my kid. You can't discipline them physically. You can't tell them what to do. Anything that you got to say to that kid, you got to say it to me, and I'll tell them, wait a minute, what are we doing? So you're saying that they're only good enough to contribute to that child financially, but they can't put hands on them if need be. They can't say nothing out of pocket to them need be. What type of sense does that make? So a lot of times we tear up our own houses when we have these type of stipulations. And I, for one, I wasn't prepared to, put myself in that type of position. So I really didn't seek a lot of permanent things, because again, I don't feel like I can have a man doing all of this for my child, but then he can't tell you nothing. He can't discipline him. He can't do what a father, which I married you, so I put you in that position. He's not able to take on that father role. That's not fair. That's not fair. And if you have those type of thoughts and isms, you got to ask yourself, why are you getting married? Why are you putting yourself in this situation when you know that you guys are going to bump heads about raising children? So let me ask you this, Amir. Would you get in a relationship that you had to be a step parent? And would you expect to have to discipline that child physically if you were taking care of them?
I mean, yeah, but like, I wouldn't want to be with nobody that got like kids that's not even mine, and I would have to like discipline, because I don't know what they would do if they don't like discipline their kids. So I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that.
And that's a fair statement, because here's the deal. Let's be honest. It's difficult to come into a situation already, and then you have kids. So that's just even more, things that we have to work out. So before blending families, you have to make sure, as the adults, as the parents, that both of you all on one accord, and you have to, mothers, before the step parent can even come in, you have to check your kids, and you have to make sure your kids are on one accord. You can't let these kids see you all being divided, because once they know that the mother is going to stand with them, they will never respect that man. They will never respect that husband because the mother does not even respect him. Because if you did, you would not challenge his authority. You would support whatever it is that he says. Now, here's the deal. Behind closed doors, you guys work out whatever issues that those are that you have to work out. But at no time should you be tolerating your kids being disrespectful to a man that is taking care of them. Whether he ain't my daddy. No, he's not. But he's doing what your dad is not doing. Or you don't even have to say that. No, he's not. But he's taking care of you and he's an adult. And with that, you will respect him. And that's it. It's like you have to have respect. It has to be a non-negotiable. We're not gonna say, oh, well, well, let's see. You don't have to respect them because you're not feeling yourself. We have to center ourselves. And you know what? You have to say what's on your mind. Listen, tell the Lord what's on your mind, but I don't care. Me as being your mother, I don't care what's on your mind. You will respect him. You will respect me. And that's just it. Anything else about this situation that you don't agree with, you take it to the Lord in prayer because I don't care. That's what you have to do. You got to tell him, take it to the Lord in prayer because I'm not trying to hear it. You will not disrespect this man, the man that is taking care of you. You will not disrespect him. But again, you and the husband, you have to come together beforehand and you have to have a game plan on how are you going to handle the kids. Because again, it's a rough situation. You're taking this man and you giving him you giving him Rosemary's Baby and all these children of the corn that are not his. Now listen, some of us, you got some kids that you listen
with the 666 on the back.
Right. You got some kids that you wonder about and you like, man, I should have, if I just had a slip down them stairs, I wouldn't even be having this problem. You got some of those kids. So you got to let these people know, like, okay, each individual kid, because each individual child is different. So you got to prep these people on how to deal with your kids because every kid is different. So you got to be like, now this one right here, you ain't gonna have no problem with this one. This one right here is cool. Y'all gonna be cool. Y'all gonna be tight. This one right here, this one a little sneaky. This is me from back in the day. So you definitely got to keep like 12 eyes on this one. This one right here, you got to keep this one on the altar at all times. You got to keep this one. This one right here, this one gonna make you age before time. So you gotta let people know what they're walking into. You don't just let this man walk up in here and think that you got all little. Listen. Now you got some of these kids need some exorcisms that you can't deal with them. The teacher can't deal with them. When the pastor see them coming, the pastor they throw them out the little kids' church and stuff. So the kind the kind of kid that you're dealing with. So you can't just, expect this man to come up in there and shell out all his money, but he can't do the what to him? The pluck what?
The pluck slap.
He can't show him again. He can't do the pluck
like
slap.
that.
Listen, again, and I will be the first to admit, sometimes, we as mothers, we got to step back and let these men be men with these kids. Now what I'm saying does not apply to your boyfriend, okay? We're talking about step parents, stepfather, stepmother. We're talking about we have made a commitment before each other, our families, and God, we've made a commitment to each other. So we ain't talking about every boyfriend you get, they get to put their hands on your kids, and we're not talking about that. Your boyfriend should not be touching your kids. Why is your boyfriend even around your kids if you guys are not on your way to getting married or a serious relationship? I don't understand why they're around these kids. That's just me. Step parents. So sometimes we as mothers, we got to step back and let these men handle these kids because sometimes they just the tone of their voice. They have a different way of doing things. They have a different way of handling situation. So sometimes you got to step back and let them handle the situation, because here's the deal. If you don't trust them around your kids, why did you marry them? I don't understand. Why do you marry them? Why do you have them in your house with your children if you don't trust them to discipline your children? Why did you marry them? I don't understand. I never understood the difference between that. Like, you trust him enough to marry him and spend his money and take his money and all this and that, but you don't trust him to knock your son upside his head if he needs it. You don't trust him. I'm kind of different about the girls. I don't know. Like, it's just something about,
Them boys, you need to put them in karate.
Right. But them girls, listen, now sometimes, some of these girls, the mouths real slick. Sometimes you got to, hey, you got to grab about a shirt and just try to, stare in the eye and figure out who she talking to. Sometimes you got to do that, okay? I'm just being real, because sometimes these mouths, these girls that can just, listen, you'll see glory flashing right before you. Some of these girls' mouths are just, and their attitudes are just, woo, what they think they hot girls, whatever it is that these girls doing today. Woo, good Lord. Good Lord. That's all I can say is good Lord above. But sometimes, he got to grab him by the shirt. Who you talking? Who you talking to like that? You don't talk to your mama like that. You don't talk to me like that. Sometimes a little checking got to go on. And if you don't trust them to check your children, why are you marrying them? That's a big thing. That says something big. That says a lot about your relationship or your marriage. It says a lot. So before walking down the aisle and saying I do, if you have children that are still in the household that need to be raised, or even if you have children that are not in the household, but if you're a good parent, you're in their life and they're going to come over for the weekends or whatever, a conversation needs to be had.
Yeah, I agree.
A conversation on how to raise these kids need to be had. So you just cannot go into these marriages haphazardly, because then you guys are going to fail, because you're going to always be fun. You can't talk to my kids like that. Why you hitting on him? And little Chunky told me that you took her phone from her. Why you take her phone? She got to be able to talk to her daddy. Her daddy bought her that phone. Oh, is that right? And once they see that they have you all against each other, that's it. All bets are off. Baby, the days of that marriage is the days of that marriage working out is numbered, because now they have divided and they will be able to conquer, because they don't want him that no way. So now that they know that you guys are not on the same page, it's going to be real easy to break up that marriage. How do I know? Listen, okay. My stepfather, God rest his soul, understand. This man came into not one, not two, not three, but 6 different people. Now, some of us were crazier than others, but understand what I'm saying. This man had his hands full. Now, he and my mother didn't really take up for us. She didn't really, because here's the thing. Prior to my stepfather coming into our lives, we were the perfect, like, my mother never had any problems with us. We were like the best kids, like everybody, nobody had a problem with keeping us. Like, they can keep all 6 of us. You know how some people feel like, okay, 6 kids are too many. Well, keeping 6 of us was just like keeping 1, because we were not a problem. Like, we wasn't acting like your house was a jungle gym and all this other stuff. So like, my mother could actually take us places and you wouldn't know it was 6 kids with her. That's prior to my stepfather coming. But it's like something, because we had been used to having my mom all to ourselves. So when she brought somebody in, it's just like, how about who this woman? That's kind of how we reacted to the situation. And all bets were off from there. So were we disrespectful? you know what? I wouldn't really even say disrespectful. I would say extra and yeah, extra and petty. That's what I would say. But guess what? What we did not know, little did we know that he was just as petty.
Remember the little voice recording thing
Man, you
you
all,
told
I
me about?
swear, this man was, it's like we were the perfect match for each other. Like, I don't think that he could have dealt with normal kids, and I don't think that we could have dealt with a normal stepfather could not deal with the things that we went through. So the psychological mess that we inflicted on each other, I think that it was a perfect match. But as we got older, we definitely appreciated, everything that he brought to the table because, we learned a lot from him. We learned about loving unconditionally. So it's a lot of things that we learned, but it was a lot of trial and error. And it was just a lot that was going on. But never once did we feel as though, he was out to hurt us. We just, we was just crazy. We were just going through some stuff because ain't nobody talked to us about, he was going to be a permanent part of our lives. And I think that was probably part of the thing that we had, a problem with. One of my sisters, she's online, Haley. So, we did a lot of interesting things to each other. But it's like at the end of the day, before he passed away, we definitely got a chance to, thank him because nobody else could have done that. So I say that to say this, it's very hard to bring in an outsider, a man to raise somebody else's kids and then for them to love them as though they were his own. And that's one thing we can honestly say is that he treated us like we were his own. He did not, as I'm using the term step, he didn't refer to us as step. He referred to us as his kids. And, sometimes we like, now, wait a minute, how he going to claim us? We was wishing that he called us step, because he dressed a little bit different and he did some different, things that, you didn't want to, be claimed by. But, that's what he knew that we didn't like that. So that made him claim us even more. Because growing up, you want your parents to look a certain way and do a certain thing. So it was all a learning process. But as we got older, again, we appreciated everything that he gave, but they definitely came together and had a united front. And it's like, once we figured out like, okay, we can't separate the two, that's when it's like, okay, well, we had to just fall back and, get our minds right, because now we know she's no longer on our side. So it's just like, okay, she don't believe us no more. She don't think that we the little innocent kids no more. She see us as children of the corn with the little 666 on the back of our head because of the way we used to act, So she needed some proof to see that, and he gave her just that proof. So again, before bringing somebody else into the picture of your kids' lives, definitely make sure you're having a conversation with definitely the kids and also with the spouse, and just making sure that you guys are on one accord. Now, guys, listen, tonight we're talking about managing addictions. Lord have mercy. Now, here's the thing, guys. It's rough. It is rough. 2020 has been a year for the streets. Okay. Now, it's been stressful for so many people, for so many different ways. People that have never thought about drinking or smoking or doing any type of drugs. 2020 sent a lot of people there. So if you or anyone whose life is being affected by the use of drugs or alcohol, and they're ready to receive help, please call the Substance Abuse and Mental Hotline at 800-662-HELP. That's 800-662-4357. So with managing addiction, so the addictions tonight that we're speaking in particular to, we're talking about drug addiction and alcoholism. Now listen, that drug, man, let me tell you, some of these drugs get on some of these drugs get on these folks, grab them up, and them things don't let you go. So be mindful, because I'm telling you, these drug addictions and this alcoholism is nothing to play with. Especially, here's the thing, if drinking and smoking and doing drugs, if that crap running your family, please stay away from it. Don't be out here trying to say, I'm just gonna try it. Because guess what? That's what your daddy did. And look, crack done got him hooked. That's what your uncle said. That heroin done got him hooked. That's what your auntie said. That crystal meth done got her hooked. Listen, if that crap, if you got folk, doing all this, listen, I come from a long line of alcoholics. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. Never have, never, because I saw how this crap done grabbed a hold of some of these folks, and they couldn't let it go. They could not shake it. They could not shake it.
Take you on out, and that's the last thing that people remember you are. Oh man, I remember we had our last drink together, you know what I'm saying? But man, he ain't here no more. But you know what? I'm gonna drink for you, man.
I'm like, he don't need you to drink for him. That's why he not here, because he drunk enough for the both of you. So that's why he ain't here, because he was drinking. So now he not here, and keep on drinking. You gonna join him. So it's like, let's not. But what is a drug addiction? Now, according to an online source, a drug addiction, also called substance use disorder, is a disease that affects a person's brain and behavior and leads to an inability to control the use of legal or illegal drug or medication. Substances such as alcohol, marijuana, let me say that again, alcohol and smoking that reefer, and nicotine are also considered drugs. So, what do you think is one of the main causes of drug addiction and alcoholism, in your opinion? Besides 2020 COVID, what do you consider a reason that a person would, get hooked on drugs or alcohol?
A rough lifestyle, depression, definitely depression. Just stress and stuff like that, having a whole lot of stuff on your mind, stuff that you done been through in your life and stuff, PTSD, all of that stuff is what it causes you to do drugs and alcohol and stuff. And the main thing to tie everything together, peer pressure.
Oh, yes. I like that. I like that. And just to add on to a few of those, outside of peer pressure, which we have physical and sexual abuse, early exposure to drugs, like you said, stress, and parental guidance can greatly affect a person's likelihood of drug use and drug addiction. Now, listen, I'm going to add in another one, because I think they forgot, to add this one. So I'm going to add it in. Poverty. Being poor is a great cause of people turning to drugs and alcohol, because a lot of people that live in poor and impoverished areas, they turn to drugs and they turn to alcohol because they feel as though there is no hope for a better tomorrow. There is no hope for a brighter tomorrow, because all they seem to see and can focus on, and a lot of times rightfully so, all you see is doom and gloom. You don't see the sunshine past the clouds. Every day is a cloudy day, so you don't see or have faith in a better tomorrow. So that is another cause of, alcoholism. And it's like being born. Listen, let's just be real. It's so much stuff that Black folk are going through today, being Black. Okay, that's enough to cause you won't sit back and just take you a drink or two, take you a hit of this or take you a hit of that, because it's so much crap that's going on in our lives and in this world, period. So if you don't find a positive or better outlet, then you can definitely fall victim to being, addicted to some of these things as a way of coping and a way of dealing with, some of the issues of today's society. So Here's the thing. It's just the way it's set up. Okay. It's just to me is the way this thing is set up, not making excuses for it, not even justifying it, but it is what it is. But we have to find a way to manage and not fall into these different traps. Again, with last year, 2020, with COVID, so much. People losing loved ones left and right, losing jobs, businesses closing, things of this nature. Like the whole 2020 was unprecedented, like things that we have never experienced and hopefully we'll never experience again, in this lifetime. People are really going through. So, again, let's help people manage. But here, what are some signs that someone is using drugs? Because again, with all that's going on, listen, somebody done slipped in and they done tried a little something and they like, whoa, shoot, this feel good right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel the way. I'm numb to everything that's going on. So now, what are some signs that you've seen that a person is doing drugs that you personally noticed?
The way they act, their personality started to change and stuff, and they just act so different. They don't act the same like they used to. Their whole demeanor just changed.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
And
it shows as well. You can tell
Mhm.
that they own that stuff. I didn't seen it. I didn't seen it down there at school. I didn't seen a lot. I didn't seen people. Still hung over. Now they still going to class. Still they can't go to class because they didn't party so hard the night before. So it's like they can't get out the bed, make it to class. Because they still have high, have drunk from last night. I haven't seen it all.
And to add on to what you were saying, Amir, then they also have the enlarged pupils or bloodshot or glassy eyes. They have increased energy and confidence. Baby, listen, they can walk from the US to Canada and still not be tired. I mean, listen, that energy, baby, take them to a whole different level. They not ashamed of anything.
And they always right.
Or they get they listen, they stuff, they be doing all this. It's like they scratching and you like
Fidgeting, yeah.
you are you itching? Like what the heck is wrong? Is something crawling on you? Now listen.
Smacking themselves.
Right. Doing or they steady doing it. Now y'all know what that one is right there. When they start doing this, you listen. If you ain't ever been around them, they doing his nose and stuff like that, you better watch. Listen, put everything up that's worth value. Matter of fact, just put them out your house because they will find something to sell. Or I'm just saying they get to doing like this or doing like, they just can't sit still. Put them out your house. Check their pockets before you leave because trust me, they done stole something if they doing those type of things. So here's the thing. So let's talk about some of these very addictive drugs and some of this stuff that, listen, please stay away from this stuff, okay? Please, 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 please stay away from this. The first thing, Lord, that heroin. Baby, when they drop this stuff off in the Black community, let me tell you, this heroin done had these folks held hostage for over 30 years and they still got them. Still got them. Heroin is ranked as the most addictive drug. On the street, it's called smack, depending on what area you in. Now, heroin really, I think it's changed. I really don't think too many Black folks is doing that heroin. Their favorite choice is that cocaine. Yes, baby, that booger sugar. That's what they going for right now. That's the next one. Now that's also on the streets. For those of us that don't know, they got, as they used to sing the song, they got rocks for your socks and blows for your nose. That's what they got. That booger sugar. That's what that cocaine. let me tell you, when these folks, on that, listen, not laughing, but I'm telling you, it's some of them you can't help but to laugh for some of the stuff that they do. Because let me say, they'll be sitting up there, they can have a full conversation with you and be asleep, be standing right there having a full. You be like, and baby, they so coordinated too. They be sitting up there, leaning and going, and you trying to figure out. Wait, what the heck? They could be telling you like, well, what you cooking for dinner? Yeah, I took the.
Really?
And then they come back. What? I took the. No, you got to go this way, and then they get real educated on you. So you got to watch them ones that that do that cocaine.
Remember, you was in people's in the.
You all, let me tell you, I've seen. Let me tell you, shout out to that West Side. I swear on everything. I love that West Side of Chicago. I swear for Lord, you go on certain streets. Listen, I'm telling you, anywhere on Chicago Avenue, from Chicago Avenue and Cicero to listen to all anywhere from Chicago Avenue. Let me see. Not so much. I'm gonna say Chicago and what's that side street? Like Mayfield. From Chicago to Mayfield down to like Chicago and Kedzie. Baby, let me tell you, if you ever wanted to see some of the funniest stuff that you've ever seen, take a field trip down. Just don't run out of gas, okay? Don't stop and stare too long because you can't catch it, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. You can. They got some business for you over there that you will never ever get over. So just be ye ever so mindful. I'm not saying go over there, get you some gas and all that. I ain't saying go to the restaurant over there. I ain't saying go to the store over there. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you ever want to witness, some of this stuff that's going on with these drug uses, baby, they got it for you. They can sit up there. Listen, they can put you a house together. Okay, when they on that cocaine. Listen, baby, this COVID didn't mean nothing. They didn't even know what was going on. They don't care. COVID didn't affect them. You more worried about COVID than they is. You said COVID. They like cocaine. What? Coke? All they heard was the coke. They like coke. No, COVID. Coke. They didn't know. They don't care. It's only affecting you. So be ye ever so mindful. But guys, listen, you got the nicotine, you got that methadone. Now listen, that's some prescription. That's when you got a little money, and that come from the other folks. So, you got to be careful with that. That come from them other folk with that money and stuff. Listen, walk out there, you see needles on the ground. You see a needle, I already know that's not a black person. That's not a black person. A black person ain't buying no needles. Because listen, that was a rock right there. What you paid for the price of that needle, that was another rock. Listen, I'm just saying, not condoning it. I seen it and I understand it. And we want to definitely be able to manage it. So again, we are living in unprecedented times. Mm-hmm. Drug use is on the rise. Listen, smoking weed. Some folks have stayed so high all 2020, they ain't know what was going on.
Didn't even know who the president was.
Right, they like that.
Obama's still
they
the
like
president.
Trump ain't. Wait, he ain't in office no more. Wait, who won? They like, wait, when that happened? Look, we got to get it together. Now we have to find other ways of managing and coping with what's going on, because again, everything is real. Everybody is going through. So if you or someone that you love is addicted to drugs or alcohol, you're finding yourself drinking every day, you're smoking every day to manage and get through day-to-day life, listen, reach out to somebody to get some help. Because if you have kids, you not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting your kids. So if you or anyone you know is dealing with and ready ready, because you got to be ready to fight this demon of alcoholism and drug abuse, please call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Hotline at 800-662-HELP. Again, that number is 800-662-4357. I'm hoping that you are able to overcome this addiction for you and your family. You all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, take this thing seriously, and get the help that you need. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Good night, you guys. Take care of yourselves.
Yes, good night.
Thank you for hitting the Jaye Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.